It's not out of judgment or shame. Not whatsoever. I'm just copying my guardian angel. Not whatsoever. Okay? There is no judging you or crucifying you if you have an abortion, if you know of anyone who's committed suicide or any of that. Never once. Not from anyone. Never, ever have I ever experienced any criticism or judgment. Ever. Hi everyone, Happy New Year! Woohoo! I'm coming on live on my Facebook page and we're going to delve in off the deep end and we're going to be talking about what happens when you cross over, what happens when you pass on, what happens when you go to the other side. And I also want to talk a little bit about the book Journey of Souls. If you haven't read it yet, it's a must read in my opinion. From when I grew up, my perspective of crossing over was, I'm going to be here and then one day I'm just not going to be here. And that was a bit surprising to me when I was quite young. Where am I going to go? What's going to happen to me? And then as I got older, and you start channeling the angels on a regular basis and you start chatting with different energies on the other side, ascended masters, archangels, the main thing that you come to realize, and even the most important, is the souls that come and chat with you. You have a lot of souls that come and chat with you and connect with you. And one of the things you'll find is that the souls will tell you what it's like on the other side. Okay? So what was it like when they crossed over? What's it like now for them, like right here and now? And so when I connect in with souls that have crossed over, the number one thing that I can see is that they're really happy. Happiness doesn't even describe it. They're blissed right out. They're in such a positive, high vibrational place when they cross over. You can't even put words to it. It's a wonderful, wonderful existence that they are enjoying over there. The other thing that they tell me is that all of this here on earth is temporary. It's almost like, if you were to have a sleep or a slumber, or you are part of a movie or a TV show, this is going to be you for a time. And when you cross over, you see the much broader perspective of who you are and what it's like on the other side. The other thing that they tell me is they're omnipresent, so they're able to go and do whatever they wish, anywhere they wish. And they can come visit us on Earth, or they can go to anywhere else that they would like to. And the only time where I have seen souls that aren't happy crossing over is when they have a certain belief system and it creates a lot of fear within them, and then they basically are stuck here on Earth, possibly for a time. And then what happens? You'll find that there are other souls, other energies that are helping to cross them over, including myself. Even when I basically didn't realize that I could, or even that I wanted to. So when you have souls that come to you and they need help, they reach out to you, or when you become very sensitive and aware of the energies in the house where you are, you'll find them hiding out in a closet or wherever they are. I've even had experiences where I'm out in the middle of nature, in the wilderness, way far away from a city center. I had a lot of energies come to communicate with me, and they were continuing on living as if they hadn't even crossed over. They were still running wild in the forests. And they weren't super keen on chatting with me or connecting with me, okay? They're not interested. They're just interested in living continuously as if they have not even passed on. So there are a lot of different experiences that I've had with souls that have crossed over. But ultimately what the angels will say to me repeatedly is, this is but an illusion, okay? So in keeping that in mind, even when I get worked up about something and I'm riled up, I'll have Eric come have a word with me, or Jesus, the soul of Jesus, and just remind me that, you know, this is but temporary and you're really getting worked up over what? I'm like, it sure feels real. But what that helps me do is I don't take things as seriously. I don't get worked up or entrenched as I once did. You know, when you grew up and you had your thoughts, you really thought everything you're experiencing is real. Everything you see with your eyes is real, it's tangible, and anything outside of that is not real. And your own thoughts that are produced in your mind is who you are. But we are far more than that. Far, far more. So once you get the lay of the land that this is but temporary and that you're here for only a period of, if you want to call it time, you get to choose your belief systems. You get to choose your thoughts. You get to choose how you want your experience to be. You don't get upset or concerned or worried about where your loved ones are or what they're up to, because at any given moment, you can call them forth to come to you, to visit you, and then you'll just sense and feel them in the room with a quiet mind, okay? And you'll just feel them in the room with you. They'll open your chakras. You might feel their presence or their energy right next to you. You might feel like pressure or warmth, okay? And if you don't feel them, it's not like, oh, they're gone, they're never coming to me ever again. No, 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 no. It's just that, they aren't needed in your life right now, and so they're not going to come. You have to walk this path on your own 2 feet. Or B, they're preoccupied in the spirit world, and they might have a word with you, but they're not right next to you, okay? And then the last reason is because they've just crossed over and you're mourning, you're grieving, and your frequency is heavier, so you're trying to feel them. But when you're feeling so heavy like that, it's just best maybe to not try. You can try, but if you don't feel anything, it's okay. So we just wait until we start to feel better. We move into a better feeling place in months and years ahead. And then we try again. Then we ask them step forward and we can feel them, okay? All right, so let's talk a little bit about what takes place when we cross over, okay? So there's multiple different things. First of all, I want to talk about Journey of Souls by Michael Newton. Michael Newton is a hypnotherapist. He has since crossed over himself. And he has written multiple books. The first book that he wrote was called Journey of Souls. And what he stumbled upon and was quite surprised by is connecting in with a person's higher self, their soul. He called it their superconscious state of mind, okay? So when you stumble across something like this and you realize, oh, I'm not just getting information from this person, I'm getting information from their soul. He would even get information from the soul's spirit guide that would be right there too. So if you went too far with questions, or it wasn't important or needed or necessary for the information to come through at that time, you would even hear the spirit guide come through and chat with him and let him know. So that is an absolutely fascinating read. I'm just going to give you a little synopsis as to what this book is about, okay? Journey of Souls is a graphic record or travel log by these people of what happens between lives on Earth. So what happens in between your lifetimes? And it's fascinating to hear them talk about the different lifetimes that they've chosen and why they chose to incarnate on Earth and what's it like in the spirit world and what was it like when they crossed over. It's absolutely fascinating. They give specific details as they movingly describe their astounding experiences. After reading Journey of Souls, you will gain a better understanding of the immortality of the human soul. So if you think about our energy is light and love. It is a spark of source or God, whatever word you want to call it. It's everywhere. And we're coming here to learn and grow temporarily. But now that you know that this is but a temporary experience, if you think back, do you remember your great-great-great-grandfather or grandmother? No. Do you think about them? No. So as things pass, no one has it in their consciousness of thought, right? You may not even care to think about or remember the hundreds and thousands of lifetimes that you've had. It's not going to maybe be a priority or of importance, and only maybe digging into the Akashic records or possibly just tuning into that lifetime, picking up on information that you may need. But we're always moving forward, upwards and onwards, and we are eternal. And I remember saying that to Source, when were you created? And I was like, but Source's response was, I've always been and I'll always be. And I'm like, okay, all right. So, yeah, forevermore. So let's not get too wrapped up in the thick of things here in this lifetime. The other thing I want to talk about briefly, other than Journey of Souls by Michael Newton, which I highly recommend, okay? One of the people that he put under hypnosis, he decided to come to Earth and still remember all of his other lifetimes. He decided he wouldn't be put into what was an amnesia, right? We don't remember what came before this. But this gentleman, he decided to come to Earth and remember everything. And he was having a real hard time of it. And so he came for a hypnosis session, and that was fascinating too in that book. Let me tell you, highly recommend it. So the other thing I want to talk about is going into 2024 feels energetically, vibrationally, a lot lighter than 2023. And you say to yourself, why would that be the case when we look, we look at what's happening around the world and we would say, holy smokes, why is it, what? So the one thing that I'm picking up on is this energy washing the planet coming in, I'm assuming for assistance, correct? To lighten the load, to take some of the heaviness and disperse of it, should you wish. Okay? So it's our free will, and many of us are just going to lap this up. Or what I'm suggesting for each of you right now is to say, I'm open for assistance, I'm open for help, and I would like help throughout this year. You can even say, for the rest of my life. Okay, here on Earth. And if you want to go even further, you would say, I'm open to help and guidance and assistance in all of my lifetimes, all of these experiences that I'm having, or all the time. Okay, so you can really expand that out. Now, once you ask for that, You may have some strong guidance steering you in a certain direction. You may have insights or thought forms that enter your mind and you're like, where the heck? So just pay attention, because once you ask for that help and that guidance, that's what's going to happen, is Spirit's going to step in and help steer you, help make things easier, okay? Some things happen and we say, oh my God, why did that happen? It's so hard, so difficult, but there's a purpose with it. And there's a lot of shifts and changes that take place that wouldn't otherwise happen without the difficulties. But we can still ask for help to make things easier, even when we're going through difficult stages and difficult times on Earth. Okay? Anything else we want to add to that? This energy is available to assist each of you at any given time, moment that you wish. Simply ask. Okay? So if you want help from this wonderful high vibrational energy coming in, just ask. And it is coming in, and I feel like it's going to really pick up come March. Things might be feeling like a slog, like slow, like we're in energy that's kind of slower moving right now. But rest assured, things are going to ramp up come March. And it feels extremely high vibrational, and like, you remember, I don't know if you guys have any moments of like when you're young and you're playful and you're having fun. Maybe you didn't have a childhood like that. But do you remember as a 20-something-year-old and feeling free to go out and do what you wanted and go have fun, and you didn't have any cares and you had no worries? This is what this energy feels like. It feels very freeing to me. So if you want time freedom, you want financial freedom, you want to be free, and you want help, say yes, please. I'm ready to go. I'm ready. Like and if you are having a hard time this year, remember, call on your team to help you in the moment. Might take them a day, might take them a week, might take them a month, but rest assured they will help you and they will bring in some changes to assist you. And in the beginning, I was one of them. I was like, okay, well, I'll ask them, we'll see what happens. I really was like, whatever. Even when I was doing angel card readings, years ago, I thought, oh, yeah. But then you watch and you see people come in and help you, or they give you opportunities, or they gift you something, or holy cow, that freed up a lot of money, or you have all these amazing things happen in your life and you're like, whoa, yeah, I did ask. Even my teeth, okay, I just got them installed just over a year ago. And 7 years ago, the angels told me the sequence of events would take place in order to secure my teeth. And I was like, okay. And I just kind of, whatever. And then I remember I was just about to take off to Florida to get my teeth installed, my old teeth removed. And I was like, oh my gosh, everything that they told me 7 years ago is happening right now. And I didn't realize it till right this second. So whatever comes through, really pay attention. Write it down. Okay? All right. Many different things take place and are decided upon long before you cross over. So a lot of things are decided way before you cross over. Everybody's got this planned out before you exit your body, okay, as to what is best. With some loved ones joining in when you cross over. So you might think, well, am I going to see no one? Am I going to see my guardian angels? Am I going to see my spirit guides? But many of our loved ones will enter the room and be there with us. It doesn't take much to investigate videos or talk to people that have worked in hospitals, nurses, especially when my Nana passed over. she noticed these signs that were happening with my Nana. My Nana's energy just exited out of her body, and yet her eyes were open, but no one was home. Okay? I can't even tell you what my Nana actually passed away from. Probably just slowly her energy exiting her body and then her organs stopping. But there's nothing that I could pinpoint for you. I would say her energy just slowly left her body. She decided to leave. And often people with dementia, the angels will say their energy just hovers more outside of their body. They're still there, but they're just slowly exiting. Okay, so when you listen to these nurses talk, they see a lot of things around people that are crossing over. They'll see angels. They'll see, people just slowly exiting like my Nana did. And I remember one day, my other grandmother, she was getting her teeth removed in the hospital this day, bedridden for 15 years in a care home. One point she got up, fell down, broke her hip. But nowadays you don't die from a broken hip in a care home, P.S. They put a titanium screw in and you basically keep living. Whereas previously it would have been 6 months and then maybe a year and you would have passed on. But now they keep you living. They keep you living over and over again. Okay, so she kept living and she's in there for 15 years and she basically has her teeth removed. And then I see this, it was like a burst or a shimmer of white light on the right side of her hospital bed. And I was like, whoa. So my grandpa shows up and I know it's him. And he tells me it's him. And then what does my grandmother do? She calls his name out in the direction that I see his light. It's like, no way. It was awesome. I said, hey, Mom. I said, Grandpa Harry's here. He just showed up on the right side of the bed. And then that was after she reached out and called for him. And I was like, he's right there. He's right there. And I just said, wow, this is so amazing to see his light and his energy. And he's there to support her, even though she hasn't crossed over yet. So even when you don't cross over, your loved ones are coming to help you. Okay? The decision as to what takes place when you cross over is based on what your soul feels you need. Okay? So, and I also got a strong pull as to what God feels you need, or source, universal oneness, light, and love. So it's really assessing what do you need in that moment is what they will bring in, okay? The decision, many factors are weighed and then decided upon. So they really weigh things out as to what you need when you cross over. Do you need to cross over right away and just go straight home? Or you don't want to cross over straight away and you want to hang out around your loved ones and be there for your funeral and just hang out with your guardian angels? So there are a lot of things that you may want. So there you go. Some souls cross over quickly, but many need a moment to understand what has happened and to say goodbye. That is until they cross over, become adjusted to home, the spirit world, and can then come back to visit. Okay? So even when they cross over right away, they'll come right back once they become adjusted. Many choose the latter, as it is important to say goodbye to their loved ones here on earth. So a lot of souls will linger and be around their loved ones and be watching their funeral. The other thing I'm getting here is they love to participate and be around us when there's a wedding. Okay, so so when you get married, or if there are, I'm getting like bar mitzvahs or any seriously important celebrations, they are there. most of the time they are there, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so into the spirit realm you go. Some may be dazed or confused as to what is happening, and many will welcome the sight of home once again with great happiness. You choose where you wish to go, who you wish to see once you become settled. So once you become settled and adjusted, and what I see when souls cross over, many, okay, many souls go into like what is like a rest chamber, and they just rest. Especially when you've had a long life on earth, you just need to rest. And I see these rest chambers, if you will, very close to source's light. So I can see that source is trying to help us when we cross over in these rest chambers. The other thing that I've seen when souls cross over, and I believe it's more like with a traumatic type of crossing over, I'll see them in, it looks like a hospital bed in like, but this is like the best of the best, okay? This isn't like our hospitals here. We're talking about like specialty type angel nurses, and like we're totally like relaxed and just bathing in the light and just being taken care of this way for a time. I also see souls, once they get settled and adjusted in the spirit world, if they've taken their own life, or they need to learn a little bit more about what happened in their lifetime, I see them sitting in a classroom setting, and they're just kind of going over what took place, and I'm assuming what we maybe different choices that we could make. Why are they in a classroom setting? To understand what led them and then produce that outcome. It's not out of judgment or shame. Not whatsoever. I'm just copying my guardian angel. Not whatsoever. Okay? There is no judging you or crucifying you if you have an abortion, if you know of anyone who's committed suicide or any of that. Never once. Not from anyone. Never, ever have I ever experienced any criticism or judgment. Ever. What if someone's like done some really drastic, not good things on earth, and then they cross over? Are they still accepted right into heaven or spirit world or the higher vibrational dimensional ranges, or what happens with them? She's talking about many are escorted to a specialty place where they are their energy is worked on and shifted and adjusted. Because if we're heavier and then all of a sudden the spirit realm is like 1,000%, there's too much of a gap between where our energy is and where the spiritual realm is. Remember, this isn't a temporary experience on earth. Do not take it too seriously. Picture it like a movie screen or a TV show. Know this is a place that you come in order to learn and grow and evolve and transition. Also, many of you are coming here in order to help each other and help Earth. Okay, so you're learning and growing, but you're also here to help the Earth. You're also here to help other people. Okay, similar or like what Kristin is attempting or trying to do now. If you so wish, if you so choose. Isn't that great? Nobody's telling you you have to do anything. Maybe a total of 6 times in my entire life, my guardian angel said no to me. And then I couldn't understand it in the moment. I could have ignored her, and there have been a couple times where I have. But I soon find out why on the other side, how it could be detrimental or harmful to others, or harmful to myself, or just not necessary or needed, or I didn't have the energy in me. I wasn't in a good place to step forward in the way that I wanted to. Okay, so if my soul is saying no, then my guardian angel is going to enforce it as best as she can, other than, putting me on the naughty step. All right. Okay. So when the energy gets adjusted to those souls that have really run amok on earth, here's the thing. We think, oh my God, everyone's a victim. Everyone's a victim. But the truth is, some souls sign up to play the victim, and some souls sign up to play the perpetrator, and some souls choose to be the narcissist, and they push, and they toughen you up, and they make you change. It's not always pleasant. How long you stay there and put up with it for is up to you. It's your free will too. And then some souls just run amok and take off and do their own thing and make decisions and choices that maybe aren't necessarily best, not following their intuition or their gut feeling or their team telling them no, or please stop. Anything else you want to say on that? There is much more transpiring behind the scenes of this experience than what each of you realize or recognize. Just know that this is but temporary, and each of you are manifestors. And so if you do not enjoy or like what you are experiencing, what you are seeing, see it in the way that you wish it to be. Try your best to keep as positive as possible. Replace the negative focal points with positive ones as to how you wish it to be or see it to be. Talk it into being. Talk it into being. Speak it into being. Thank you. Okay? So we get to actually be the orchestrators. We get to decide, okay, well, I don't like this, so now I'm going to focus heavily on how I want it to be. And you start focusing on it and talking about it relentlessly. Okay? All right. We're ready. So I'm assuming that the energy of these individuals that cross over gets adjusted, and then they're able to move into the spirit world easier. Correct. They may still be at the lower levels of the spirit world. Okay, how do you want to word that? Lower frequency. And then they have an opportunity or a chance to work their way up gradually from where they are up. Okay, whereas some of us are naturally, and it is easy for us to shift or move upward in frequency. And so we are just slotted into more of a higher vibrational frequency when we cross over. It's all about frequency and energy, and that is played out by way of your thoughts, what you focus upon, your beliefs, what you choose in every given moment. I'm looking at you like this because she's looking at me like this. All right, Annie. I know that you want to talk about your dad and what happened to him. There's guilt here. guilt of him being alone in the home when this happened, when he crossed over. Your dad is jovial. He's like, well, we got to go it somehow. So whether it was on the stairs or it was by some other way, one way or another, it was my turn to cross over. Okay. So it was his exit date. So did you always choose that to be your exit? How you exited? He's saying, no, not necessarily. One might look at it as an accident or something that took place that was not voluntary, but whether we pass away in our sleep, that would be preferable, he says. But one way or another, we each have our time to go, and this was something that was produced in order for him to exit his body. So it can be on the stairs, it can maybe be in a car accident, it can be I'm crossing the road and whoops, I slipped and hit my head. Whatever it is, it's produced in order for us to exit at that time. We look at it like an accident, or I can't believe that happened, this is so horrible. But he wants us to see it from a vantage point or a viewpoint of, it was my time to go, and this exit, this type of exit on the stairs was produced in order for him to exit his body. He's doing really well. He's really happy. He's happy. He's watching you and the family. Do you have children, Annie? Because I feel like he's watching you, and I feel like these are your children. Oh, he's got huge amount of joy when he watches you. Huge. Okay, and anytime you ever want to feel him in the room, you can just ask him to come closer and then feel his energy basically bucking up against your energy and your body. He wants me to tell you that you're well looked after. Your family is well looked after. And although we may look around and see a lot of things transpiring with other families and other homes in the world, he wants you to know that you are safe and protected and loved, and that only good, like being taken care of and supported, okay, the good stuff is going to come for each of you in the days ahead. Wow. Okay. Right. Got it. So I do see him doing that. So that makes sense. Okay. He just has a great amount of joy. Huge amount of joy. Happy. Do you want to say anything else? I just see really content days ahead for you, and being really looked after and watched and supported. It's good. I mean, it's what we all want for ourselves. And so remember, when this energy comes in this year, like it is right now, I'm open to help. And I'm open to smoother, easier days ahead for me. I need assistance. Thank you. Okay? Okay. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I just popped up a video on my YouTube channel talking about what they really get up to on the other side, and Eric tells me. Oh man, he cracks me up. So if you want to watch that, that's up on my YouTube channel. You're welcome. If I go based on what I've seen personally as to what they get up to on the other side, I see them like hanging out with their friends that they haven't seen in a long time, other loved ones that have crossed over, and I see them I'll see them in what looks like a pub hanging out together. The ones that enjoy doing that and drinking and smoking, I see them doing that on the other side. I'll see them like on, a lot of times I've seen them in a house with a porch, and they're like in a rocking chair or a chair, and they're just enjoying the view. And it's just beautiful. When I look at where I go, it's a cottage in a forest with an open field with a lot of wildflowers, and it's just beautiful. It's my version of paradise. What's your version of paradise? You might have an idea, or you might find out when you cross over. But there are stages that one goes through when they cross over to lead them back to home, or their version of home, their idea or thought of paradise, a good time, high vibrational experiences. That's what I'm getting from my guardian angel. I also have seen like souls jumping off like waterfalls. No one can get hurt. So everybody's having a good time in the water. I also see them like, they're like moving. Some souls, they were like really busy on earth and they're still really busy on the other side. And there's other times where I see them swirling, flying around, and they're enjoying music. And it's like music that is what deems to be like 100% more enjoyable than what we experience on earth. Okay. And they're immersed in it. They're not just listening to it. I think that they're immersed in the energy of it or the frequency of it. It's like incredible. I know that's a lot for you guys. I sometimes will see pillars, and I'm going down like a marble corridor, especially when I go to the Akashic Records. It's always this way. And I'll see a lot of gold. Sometimes I'm communicating with Jesus or other energies when I am on the other side. Like when I had my teeth out, there I was with Jesus, and I was in complete paradise. I can't describe to you how immensely wonderful it is. Like, no words can describe. You always hear those people that cross over and then they have to come back to earth, and they're like, yeah, they made me come back to earth. But remember, always remember, enjoy the food, enjoy the scents, enjoy the experiences here in your physical vessel, okay? Enjoy sex, enjoy touch, enjoy laughter and butterflies. And Eric will often say he fondly thinks about when you can't read or hear the other person's mind or their thoughts. So you don't know what they're feeling, and chemistry is happening in the butterflies in the body, okay? Whereas on the other side, you can easily pick up on what they're thinking at any given moment. Okay, so it's quite different. Nope, they don't stay the same age. Well, younger souls that cross over, or younger children, I seem to see them growing up on the other side, which is interesting to me. I'm like, okay, so it's just kind of this stages. What is, do all children that cross over grow up on the other side in the spirit world? No, not all of them. Just the ones in which their soul feels it's important to do so. How fascinating. Some just cross over and get immersed right back into the spirit world, right where they left off. Everything is temporary. Okay. And it's as to what is best or needed, or if the adjustment on the other side is made more, if it's easier on the soul to cross over and then gradually grow up, then that's the path that will be taken. Whereas other souls, maybe they've incarnated more often, I'm assuming, and they have more experience under their belt, so they cross over and they go right back to where they were. For me, it will be in this little cottage with trees, forests, and wildflowers. Yeah, that's one accurate way of putting it. But there are other reasons as to why a soul grows up on the other side. And it's interesting because some people come to me for readings and then I'm seeing their grandparent. But I said, your grandparent here is showing me them looking like they're 30 and looking great. So it's how they want to present. But it's all about, I suppose, it's how the soul feels and what is best for it as far as adjusting into the spirit world. Correct? Any other reasoning? Or anything else you want to say? I feel like you have something else to say. Yeah, she's saying correct. Okay. Some souls need a slower adjustment. And if things, if it was a bit traumatic, exiting, it's better for a slower adjustment, meaning slowly adjusting and aging and the version or the idea of growing older. Okay. She's saying that if we didn't believe in aging, if we didn't believe in ages or time, would we get old here on Earth? That's something for each of us to think about or consider. Okay. That's okay. No apologies needed. You come in at the right time when you need. Okay, the love of your life died at 31. Tammy. But I have seen him when we were in the middle of a 5-car accident. Nothing touched us. But we were in the middle of it. All I had seen is a golden light, and it was him. And wow. And it's been 30 years since he left. I get one word in my head when I read this, and I see the word protection. That's what I see. And I hear it too. Isn't that amazing? Incredible. Incredible. They never really leave us. We think they're gone. Really, their body is gone. Their energy continues. And you can connect in with them anytime you want. Anywhere. Okay? Even if they're busy or they feel that it's best for you to walk on your own 2 feet without them, you can still talk to them and their guardian angel will take the message. And I've seen this where the guardian angel's like this and telling me, you can't interrupt the rest chamber or you can't talk to them right now, but I'll take your message. So every single thought you send out, every word you send out is picked up, okay? And don't worry about hurting anyone's feelings because they're in pure bliss. So if you're angry or upset or you say something, don't feel that they're going to be traumatized or hurt by that because they're just not, right? I've never seen it. I've never experienced it. My guardian angel's saying that each of your guardian angels will likely will transmute those heavier thoughts before they land upon the ears of those with whom you are speaking to on the other side. That's a good thing. Very good thing. Oh, Eric's the best, isn't he? Jeez. Eric talks about a lot of things. I know I watched another channeling of Eric, and when you come to Earth, and then all these different souls have all these different experiences, okay? Some don't even come into physical vessels or seeming physical vessels like this. Some never have these experiences. Some Triocturian, maybe Pleiadian, Andromeda, whatever. And then maybe they don't come to Earth. So picture you going over to the other side. They know exactly where you've been. You don't have to tell them. They just automatically know. And Eric was giving this version of souls being like, oh, that one's been to Earth. So you'll have some souls probably being quite shocked that you are choosing to continue to incarnate on Earth. Is that accurate, Agnes? Correct. And she's got a smile on her face. Why are they shocked that we're coming to Earth? Because it's in a lower dimensional frequency in which many souls do not wish to enter or experience. But rest assured, each of you has the choice in any given moment to lift your own energies here on Earth and help others along the way. Okay? So you can always lift up and say, you can't do it. I can't do it. Then you're going to ask your team to help you do it. And if that doesn't work, you're going to call in Archangel Michael. And if that doesn't work, you can call in Archangel Gabriel. And if that doesn't work, you can call in Jesus. And I guarantee you 100% when you call in Jesus, it will work. Okay? And if you're still heavy, then you have to go through it to get to the other side. Just like when I was experiencing ulcerative colitis and I was suffering greatly, I knew that my soul had chosen this long before coming here. And I knew that, well, you could look at it as a metamorphosis coming out of a cocoon into a butterfly. You could see it that way if you want, but I certainly wouldn't be here right now without that suffering. So I'm actually thankful of the suffering. Now, do I want to continue the suffering? Heck no. But I wouldn't be where I am, and I wouldn't be as happy as I am now without it. Let's go to your mom, Shannon. She's a very sweet soul. Oh my gosh, what a heart. I almost feel like you are her like baby boy, or I don't know if she treated you a little extra special. Okay. Oh, she hung around for a while. 2 months. That's a long time to be hanging around. Didn't want to go. Her angels were patient with her. Okay, this is what I'm getting. Let me know if I'm on track, Shannon. And feel free to type in the comments what you pick up too. Okay. You know what she feels like? She feels like my Grammy. My Grammy went through the Second World War, and she was really nurturing. She kept everything really clean. My Grammy loved to keep the house really clean, and anytime we had any family gatherings, she'd pull out the camera. Picture time, you know. She was like the glue that held the family together. Yeah, you agreeing with what I've channeled? Yeah? That's sweet. She's right here. And it feels really like loving. I feel like I got a mom. I know she's your mom. Not the same without her. You were just thinking about that yesterday? Yeah. What? Did she make jam or pies? Because, well, I don't know if she's sharing that with me, or I know my Grammy made pies and jam. My mom did too, because my Grammy taught my mom how to do that. And so a lot of like cooking and baking, that kind of thing. Okay. She crossed over just fine when she was good and ready, and she's she did it when she wanted to. She comes back to visit. So you're not in a rest chamber. Only for a short while. Didn't need it. Didn't need to be there any longer. She feels very content and very at peace and happy. And I see her socializing or engaging with other relatives Relatives or friends? Relatives. Other relatives who have crossed over before her. Oh my gosh. Her mom did? Her mom made the pies? Oh my gosh. And in the last month, we talked about baking a lot. Come on. That's super cool, Shannon. Believe, Shannon. Be sure to give thought to what you want. Believe that anything's possible. What is it that you want? Write it down so we can read it. And she's going to read it too, by the way. So you can write down a manifestation list. Write down what you want in life so your team can read it and get busy and co-create it into your experience. Believe. Have an awesome weekend, and I will see you next Friday where we will be channeling the Blue Avians, myself and Paul Milgis. Can't wait. They keep coming in and they want to talk and they're making me really dizzy, so we really got to get this out. Love you. Bye.